Hi everyone.
Hi Praveen. So Bharat, you can share your screen and I can guide you how to log in. So I've just shared your link. Please open that.
Okay, Abhinav, just give me sharing.
So this is the same link, right?
Yeah. So lab, I think Bharat was not present yesterday, so he doesn't have the access to lab. So I'm just guiding him to access the lab.
So it's asking root user or IAM user. I'm trying to log in.
Sorry, could you repeat?
Is it a root user or IAM user?
No, you have to use the root user only. So yesterday you logged in, right?
Still not in. It's asking email ID. Enter your email address, account ID or account areas.
Could
Just
you
now you
share?
shared me that link, right? I'm just sharing my screen. You're able to see that.
Yeah, I'm able to see that.
So this is the one, right? Link.
Click on IAM user. No, this is not the one. Let me check. And guys, please keep this links handy because you have to use it daily, right?
Okay.
Bharat, what about please use the second link that I have shared?
IAM user is
Um,
administrator, no?
no, over here you have to type one identity.
Abhinav, can you please share that link again? Because I joined from a different system now. So in chat, it's not, the old messages are not visible.
Okay.
Is this correct? IAM username.
Yeah, username is I have just mentioned on the chat also.
Oh, sorry, I missed.
Praveen, could you please share the URL with on the chat again? I'm not able to copy this.
Yeah, is this? I just shared.
Yeah, Bharat, please log in that.
Yep.
And you can share your screen.
Mm-hmm. Share option. Okay. Okay, see my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen. So use the username and password that I have shared.
Mm, no, I did rejoin, but I couldn't see those messages here in the chat.
Praveen, please copy paste them again on the chat.
Okay. Can you try now?
Yeah, have the link, login ID, password.
Okay. Once you log in, what's happening?
No, I need login ID and password.
Okay. Oh, sorry. 1 second. I'll just send you. Username. The password. Yeah, I just shared username and password. You can just keep. Where I'm not able to see to connect the RDP. Are you able to see my screen? Acha, okay. Oh, sure. Perfect. No worries. It's okay. Click on EC2. EC2.
EC2.
Change the address first. Go on top. Hyderabad, you can select. Go back one step.
Okay.
Asian space features the left, right side, top, right side. Sydney, below the Sydney. Account ID. Below. Yeah. Select Hyderabad. Hyderabad, yeah. So now you can choose EC2.
C2.
Okay. And you can see the instance right side. Instance. Yeah. Click on the select the instance. And you can just because you can elaborate these names. I made it my name and the model, and you can just make it yourself, whichever is yours. You can rename it and you can use that instant.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just space, you can give your name. Yeah. You can save it. Okay, perfect. Click on that instant, yeah. Instant ID. Okay.
Now click on that instance state. So on the top there is instance state and start instance. So once it will start, it will show the connect button here. Click on that connect button now. Now click on RDP client. And yes. And click on download.
Okay, it's downloading. Okay, I'll just share on my browser. Let me share complete screen.
Bharat, Praveen, any idea like the other guys Mohan will join or not? Or
Mohan will not join, so Mohan will watch the recording session later.
and what about Madhukar?
Madhu, I don't know. I need to check.
Password is
Okay,
same.
okay.
Solaris at the rate 123 321.
I mean, okay.
Yep. So now from here you can just click on the Windows icon and open any of the tools you want. Just type the name, designer, manager, whatever you want to open.
Launchpad, right? Usually we're going through Launchpad, right?
Yeah, you can open any of the tools, Launchpad, manager, anything.
Now search for Launchpad in the search. Go to Windows. Yeah, search for Launchpad. Yeah. Click on that. Okay. Automatically it will select. Yeah. Select. Authenticate. Continue. Connect. What happened?
It's just loading.
Yeah, it will take 1 minute, around 1 minute for the first time loading.
Okay.
So in the production also, whenever if you want to go to any tool or the manager, designer, or authenticate, so we have to go through via this Launchpad only, no?
Yeah, this is your choice. If you want, you can open one by one. The only benefit of using Launchpad is that you can open all the tools without entering the credentials again and again.
Understand.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can open them separately also.
Okay. So should I go with the role based or it's an account for this?
No, select that system user only,
Okay.
and user is VI admin. I'll just type it over here. VI admin is the user, and password is null at the moment, so you can just leave it blank. Click connect.
VI admin, right?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, now you can click on the manage button, left side, and then click on display and maintain data. Click run. This will open the manager tool for you. See, the first day when we were looking at the demo lab from the one identity, it was version 9.3. So from version 9 and above, there is another option in the Launchpad called tools where you can open the tools. But in version 8, 8.1, 8.2, you have the options like this: manage, configure. If you click on configure, you can open the designer tool. If you click on any other thing, you will be able to do that. So click on configure. Yeah, click on add or modify your job server. So this will open the designer for you. Now go back over there. The first option, configure a sync project, that will open the no on the right side only. First option. So that will open the sync editor. Similarly, configure a data import will open the data importer for you. Okay,
Okay.
so in these versions, it is managed
So
in this.
individually we can open the tool, right?
Yes. Okay. So let's begin.
So then
So
what is
both of
today's agenda? No?
Yeah, so today's agenda is that we'll be looking into the manager tool only. So that day we were not able to do a lot of things on the manager. Okay. And yesterday also, I think most of the time was utilized in talking about the previous session and then about giving the access to the lab. Okay. So today we'll be discussing on the pending items in manager, that is the business role, and also the attestation part. So these are the two
Okay.
topics that are left there. So let me share my screen and we can start. Okay. So this is my lab.
Is it recording, right?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay. Yeah. Because later other people, if they want to go through.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'll go to manage, display and maintain content data. Okay. Now what we'll do over here today is that we'll discuss about the business rules and we discuss about the attestation part. Rest of the things we have already seen. We have seen the employees, we have seen the departments and cost centers. We have also seen that how we create a new entitlement, how we create a new IT shop, and how we attach the ESET and entitlement to each other. Use the AD group. So we have seen everything. How to publish a AD the IT shop. So these are the things we have already covered. So now if I click on business rules, so what is the meaning of business rules? So business rules is something that an organization can define, like what kind of business rules it needs to have. Okay. So any organization that requires, one second. So business role basically, like any company structure, like department, location, projects, streamline access. So they basically allow the admins or the users to assign resources to groups identities. So that way you can create a lot of business roles. Okay. So let me give you a brief on what all business role can do. So let's go to role approvers first. So currently you can see that this is a particular application role, okay, and this application role is not assigned to anyone. It says member of this application role and its child roles are allowed to perform IT shop approvals if approval procedure RO is applied. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll click on this assign employees tab, and because of the fact that I already told you that this is a fresh lab, so there is no record available anywhere in any place. Okay, so it is something that you'll have to do. So I've just added one record over here, so I'll assign this role to this user. Click save.
So do we need to add this role assignment employees manually, right? Create a user means
Yes.
employee.
Now if I click on the back button, you can see that this role particular thing.
What is this role actually? Business role, right?
This is an application role. This is not a business role. So application roles is a different thing. Business role is a different thing. But this particular things comes under the like application roles comes under business roles only. So
So
you
the
can see
application means it's an individual application or all applications that will be covered.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Is it a application role? Is all applications will be in the one role or it's a individual application?
No. See, don't confuse that with that. It is for all the applications or something like that. The application role is only particular for the one identity manager. So whatever you are doing in one identity manager, this particular application role, so we call it application role, that you have a particular access to particular application, and that one thing that is mentioned over here that you can do. Okay, so you can just perform IT shop approval. So if I am assigning this person this particular application roles, what she can do is that if I go to IT shop and I want to approve something, then I am the primary business owner for this. Okay, so that is something called this thing. Okay, first let's do one thing. Instead of doing this, let's come to rule classes. And create a new business role class that is click on save. Okay, so now we have added the first business role to our this thing. Okay, now if I click on business roles, click on change master data. One more thing, just remember one more thing that you need to do. I think I told that already yesterday. So whenever you log in first time in this lab, what you need to do is you need to open the SQL Server Manager, SQL Server Management Studio.
Is it before start the launch padding or then?
No, anytime. Like before performing any operations, you need to connect to this SQL server, and you need to start this SQL Server agent. Otherwise, what will happen that none of the operations will work on the back end.
So Abhinav, like you mentioned in the first class, right? All the database server, everything is installed on the same instance in this case.
Yes. So currently everything is installed on the same instance only. So
Okay.
yesterday, I think you were not there. So we were discussing on the installation part only, where I showed them that what and how we install everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Now what we'll do is let's do one thing. The option is not coming over here. I don't know why. So what we'll do is we'll follow a different approach. We'll come to configure, configure, add modify a script, change and extend, compile, transport, extend, import. Okay, so what we are going to do is business role is nothing but it is stored in the org table. Okay, so we'll open the org table in the object browser. So this is our object browser. Over here, I'll open this org table. Click on this filter item. So filter icon will bring all the available business roles that are present in the org table. So currently there is no business role available over here. Let it load. Okay, so there are no business roles. So now what we'll do is we'll click on this add button over here. Once we click on this add button, so over here also you can see there are these are all the columns that are available in the org table or the business role table. So there are few things that you need to that are mandatory. So whatever is clicked, like wherever this icon, blue icon is present, like this one. So these are all the mandatory fields that are required to be filled up. Okay. So the very first thing is that we need to provide the org root. What is the root of this particular thing? So we'll select the, we can select this, we have already created this role, right? So we'll select our business role test over here. And then we need to enter the ident.org. Ident.org is nothing but the name, whatever you want to give the name to it. Okay, so we can just give any name. Okay, and I don't think anything else is mandatory over here. Yes, so we'll just save it. So as soon as we save it, you can see that there is a new record that has been created over here in the business roles. Now I'll come back over here. Click on role classes, business role test. So you can see that we have created our first business role, that is business role test, manager of specific role. Okay, so this is our business role. Now we can open it from here and we can see these are the details: short name, role class, parent business role, full name, role type, role approver. We can select the approver for this as well. Okay, suppose I selected this role approvers and click save. Okay, now you can see that role approver, IT manager, deputy manager, a lot of things are over here. So you can fill up the data based on your requirements: address, street, building, functional area, then risk index, transparency index, maximum number of rule violations. Then obviously, as I told you, that one identity provides extra fields so that if these things doesn't suffice your requirement, you can add these fields also. You can put these fields also into play. Okay, so now once we have done this,
So it won't overwrite, right, existing names or anything which is connected to Entra or Azure or anything.
no, you can update these names also. So you can make it the way you want. If you want to change the name of this spare field number one, you can do that.
Thank you.
We'll discuss this when we'll be discussing on the change and manage content, where we will be working on the schema extension part. So there I'll show you that how we update this. Okay, so once you have created this business role, you can do a lot of tasks also on this. You can create, edit our operating data. You can assign extended properties. You can edit conflicting business roles. Okay, so edit operating IT operating data is something that how do you want to apply this business role? Who should be able to get this business role? Who should be able to request this business role? If there is a particular, you want that there should be a particular role, dynamic role that should trigger this, then also you can add it over here. Okay, assign extended properties is something that if I click on this extended properties, obviously we don't have anything at the moment. Extended properties is something that suppose you want to create some SODs or rule violations. Okay, that if these rules are getting violated, then the person who is requesting it should not get it. So you can just configure that part also. So once you configure that thing, the person who is requesting this, if there is an extended property saying that this person needs to complete following trainings, so if the person has not completed those following trainings, he cannot request this particular role. Okay, so that is something that we add from the from this particular thing, that is edit operating IT operating data. Then the next thing is, you can see create dynamic role is here. So if I click on create dynamic role, again you can mention the object class. There is nothing in the object class. I'll have to add something over here also. 1 second. I'll have to add a new dynamic group over here. So show field definition. Yeah. See, this is the problem when you use a fresh thing. There is nothing present. You will have to create in it each and everything. So object key base tree is also not here. So I'll have to add object key.
I think it should be person table, right?
Yeah. Okay. So we have created this role. Not sure why it is not coming over here. Let's do one thing. System, Active Directory system, resources, account definitions, basic configuration. It's not coming properly. Okay, I think there is some particular issue with this. It should have come, but this when I'm creating a dynamic role, the only thing that is present over here, it should show the tables like person or the other tables on which I want to apply this dynamic role to, but somehow it is not showing over here.
So what exactly dynamic rule will do? What is the role of this role?
So the role of this dynamic rule is that suppose I put a condition that I applied it on the person table. Okay, suppose I applied it on the person table and I gave it a name. After this, I can give a condition that is inactive is equal to false and identity type equal to primary. So what will happen that all the users who have this particular two attributes checked, like they have the primary identity type, and plus they are not inactive, like they are active users in our system. So they will automatically be assigned to this business role. Okay, so dynamic role is created. There are two ways to request a business role. One is to make it requestable. Okay, either you make it requestable that the person from front end will go and request this business role. Otherwise, you can create a business, you can create a dynamic role out of it. So automatically, if the person is satisfying the criteria, this particular business role will be automatically assigned to them. Okay, so once this business role is assigned to them, we already have created this business role test role class, which will allow them to become the approvers for a particular IT shop item. Okay, so that is how the hierarchy is. Now, suppose I am a user and I want to become the IT shop owner for this one identity platform. Okay, so what I need to do is I either need to go to the one identity manager portal. From there, I request this particular product. Once I am approved with all the things, like the approval workflow is approved, then I will get access to it. Otherwise, what will happen that if I am satisfying the criteria that I am an active person and my identity type is primary, automatically I will be assigned this business role. Okay, so that is the use of this particular thing.
Okay. On what scenario basis usually we define this business role and
see, business roles are generally defined by organization. So if you will open your real life business role, like if you'll open your lab, one identity where you are working in the organization, you will be able to see a lot of business roles. Okay, like IT department manager, IT department manager 1, IT department manager 2, HR specialist. So in this way, there must be multiple business roles available. Okay, and each business role will have a specific job. Like the way we created this role class, similarly, those business role will also have a specific class. Now they can either be requested from the front end or they are directly assigned via the dynamic role. So that is what a business role means. Any questions on this?
no, not from this side.
Okay. The next thing is about the attestation. Okay, so what is attestation? Any one of you has worked on attestation or any idea on what attestation is?
Registration is like, for example, if you have any application, anything you will onboard it, like when do you want to renew, like after 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, you want to monitor that, and we can take action on that. So those things we can create in attestation, if I'm not wrong.
Correct. So basically, this attestation is also known as certification in other tools. So this is a feature that One Identity has provided, where a person can certify the correctness of the entitlements, requests, or exceptional approvals, either scheduled or on demand. Means that either, like, suppose I have requested a particular entitlement and I requested it a long back, okay, and or I have requested any other particular access or something, but a long back. So certification is something that just checks that the entitlements the person has or everyone has are correct or not. So to certify the correctness for these things, we do the attestations. Attestations can be done in two ways. First is that you can do it in a scheduled way, that every 6 months we are doing the attestation, every year we are doing the attestation, or you can run it on demand. Run it on demand means, like, suppose there is a audit that has to be covered. So in that case, you can just run the certification on demand. Okay, so let's see
So
how it works.
we
Okay.
can we put it as like a reminder auto trigger alert, because if it will be there like a 6 months or 1 year, then how we can come to know? Is there any alert will come before the day, or then uh, what could be the workflow?
Sorry, could you please repeat your question?
No, is it because some of the certificate, if you want to renew after 6 months or 1 year, so then is there any alert mechanism, or how we can come to know operation states? Like, do we need to proactively check, or will we get any email from the any other respective team, or then how we can act on this assistation renewal
Okay.
pieces?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. Okay. So basically, attestation is something that will only trigger on the date, but because you want that before the attestation runs, there is a notification that should be going to all the approvers or the attesters. So for that, you'll have to create a custom process. So I also, like, for multiple organizations, we have also created a similar kind of process where the requirement was that it should send a reminder to the attesters before 15 days. Okay, so 15 days before the attestation starts, all the attesters will be reminded that there is a attestation that will be running on this day. If you want to take action right now, you can take action now, or you can run it on the same day and you have to approve it. On that also, there is one more thing. Suppose there are attesters who have entitlement, who are attesters for multiple entitlements. Okay, so now what will happen, that on the day when the attestation process will run, they will be flooded with a lot of emails saying that you have to attest this, you have to attest this. So for that also, we created a particular, there is an option in One Identity. If you check that, what will happen, that instead of sending multiple mails to the same attester, maybe he's like a tester of a lot of entitlements, but instead of sending a lot of emails to him, flooding his email, you can just send a single email saying that please review all your attestations, and he can simply click on that link. He will be redirected to the attestation part in the front end portal, where he can see that what all items he has to attest.
So that will
Okay.
be a custom workflow, right?
Yes, that would be a custom workflow.
Okay. So this
Okay.
assistance also will be taken care by operations team, right? Not the other team.
Yeah, mostly, see, most of these things are automated only. So the
Okay.
operations team will do these things. But if there is a new requirement that you have to create a new attestation policy, or you have to create a new attestation run on a particular object, or any new entitlements, then the development work is coming into the play.
Okay.
Suppose if I click on this attestation part over here, you can see we have three things: attestation runs, attestation policies, and basic configuration data. If I expand this attestation policies, custom defined won't be here. Let's click on predefined. So if I click on this predefined, you can see business role attestation, business role membership, cost center attestation, department attestation. So a lot of different types of attestations we have over here,
These all will
right?
be by default system thing.
Yeah, these are all the out of the box ones.
Okay.
So these are all the out of the box ones. If you want to create a new one, you can click on this custom define and click on this new icon. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll come up over here, give it a name, attestation. Uh, you can select this system entitlements over here. System entitlements and system entitlement attestation. Approval policy, these are the existing approval policies. So either you can use existing ones or you can create a new approval policy like the way we did it on the second session, that we created a new approval workflow and then we created the approval policy for that approval workflow. So similarly, you can create a approval policy as well. So now there is one thing to understand over here. Okay, very important thing. So there are two kind of approval policies, there are two kind of approval workflows, and there are two kind of approval procedures. One is for the attestations and one is for the IT shop, and both of them are different. Okay, so if I want to create a approval policy for attestation, then I'll have to click on this attestation and select the basic configuration data, and you can see that we have these approval procedures, policies, and workflows. So similarly, if I go to click on IT shop and click on the basic configuration data, here also we have approval procedures, policies, and workflows. But these are different. If you create a approval policy in the IT shop, you won't be able to see that approval procedure in the approval policy in the attestation. Okay. So these two things are different. So always keep in mind. Okay. So if you have to create a new policy for attestation, then you will have to come and create it under attestation. If you will have to create it under IT shop, you have to create it under IT shop.
Okay. So if even uh, when we created in IT shop, so when we are not create attestation inside, so when we are going through the policy, will it uh, show that IT policy also here? It will be visible. Or
No. It will not be visible. So see,
okay.
only the approval policies that are maintained in the attestation part are only coming over here.
Okay. Understand.
The ones that are created under IT shop, they are not visible over here.
Okay. Got it.
Similarly, for IT shop also, if you will open the IT shop and you are creating a new service item, and you need to select a approval policy, you won't be able to see these approval policies that are available for attestation. Okay. So suppose I selected this attestation of system entitlements by product. You can assign any owner to it. So we only have one person at the moment. So I'll assign this to this.
So from here in the owner, when you drop down, there is a one user. So if you want to create from here also, we can create, right? Owner, I can add or do I need to go to again an employees?
No, you will have to add an employee.
Okay. So there is no bypass to directly add from the owner here.
See, as I told you that the creation of the employees is something that you are not going to do in one identity manually. That is something that will happen via the HR system.
Oh, okay.
So when you are adding the owner, it will show you all the employees that are present in the active state. Okay, so you can select any one of them.
Understand. Got it. So that we are going to do in other classes, right? How to set up the HR thing and AD, Azure Sync. And
So we are not going to do it for the actual HR system, but I'll show you that how, because the first organization where I worked, so there also they use CSV connector for the HR system. So that we'll see that how we configure the CSV connector and how the import works over there.
okay.
So that is
Before that workflow, then we'll get an idea real time. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, the next thing that you can put over here is the time required. Time required is something that if the attestation has been run and there is no action taken on it by the approvers or something. So if I put over here, suppose 10 days. So if for the 10 days the owner has not taken any action, this particular thing will automatically be declined. Okay. Then you can select the risk index. Then you can select the calculation schedule. So as I mentioned that there are two ways to run an attestation. One is via scheduled, or the other one is ad hoc. Like you can just run it at any time you want. So we'll see that how we use that. So let us give a schedule as half yearly for now. Okay, so every 6 months this attestation policy will run. Close obsolete tasks automatically means that if there are any obsolete tasks already present in the job queue, it will automatically kill them. Okay, so it will close all the obsolete tasks that are already open in the job queue. So obsolete task limit is also there. So suppose you want that if there are more than 15 obsolete tasks already running, you let 5 over there and 10 of them should be killed. So you can provide a obsolete task limit, and reason
Yeah,
for decision also you can mention over
yeah,
here.
I'm sorry. What is this obsolete talk? I missed the task.
So obsolete tasks is suppose there are already multiple attestation running in the job queue, okay, and they are running from a long time, and there is no result of those. So if you select this close obsolete tasks automatically, what it will do that if those are running from a long time and they have become obsolete, so it will automatically kill those jobs that are present over there.
Without rectifying, without take any action, it will kill the process. If it is killed, so then what could be the issue? So it will not get any. Uh,
So it will kill them by mentioning that like what is the reason? I think end with error. So it will make them end with error and will make them to process history.
Understand. What is the risk index? What usually when
So
we
risk
use?
index is something that is used. So like when you are running anything on the job queue, right? So job queue works on this risk index. So if the risk index is high, okay, so there are two ways to use this also. Okay, risk index can be something that is present. Like suppose I am the approver, okay, and I get this entitlement with me, okay, to approve. So I can see that the risk is very high on this. Now, suppose in some parts, what will happen that this attestation goes for a third party verification, like the approval workflow is in such a way that it will go to the third party. So when it will go to the third party will also be able to see that this is the associated risk with this entitlement. Okay. So if they have any issues or something, they will send it to the risk owner also. So we have another workflow that is called the risk owner workflow. So over there, it will go to the risk owner to see that the risks associated with this. If the risk owner approves it, then only it will go to further approval process. So risk index is used mainly for this purpose, that if there is a third party consideration for this vindication, so they will also get to see that this is the associated risk with this. And if the risk is very high, then they will include the risk owner also. The risk owner will approve. If the risk owner approves it, then only it will go further.
Yeah.
Then we have this reason for decision. Okay, here you can mention whatever the reason you want for the decision. Then we have this condition. So this is the very this is the important thing, that is the condition. So this condition will only run currently it is mentioned 1 is equal to 1. That means it will apply to all the entitlements that are present. Okay, but if you want to put a condition, then you can put a condition over here. You can do it in this way, like you can put at least one entry exists in this particular thing, and however you want to do.
Mhm.
Or else you can just put a simple SQL condition over here. Okay, so currently I think we don't have any entitlements also available.
We can create entitlement, right?
Yeah, we can create some entitlements. Let me put 1 is equal to 1 only at the moment.
So do you have any documentation or real-time scenarios to review and practice for us any chance?
Document for what?
We will just review and we will do ourselves, but to be hands-on. So now whatever we are seeing, we can. But when we are doing the real time, if you miss any points of the reason, do you have any kind of or any steps or documents or any kind of related art, like real time scenarios or some material kind of thing? Uh, that will
I'll
be
have
helpful
to check that. See,
because
one identity, yeah, one identity doesn't provide any such kind of documentation where you
no, no,
have the.
understand. One identity will not provide because when I search in the documents into the directly website, there are hundreds of pages. So we
Yeah,
cannot go through that thing. I mean, as you are a trainer, like do you have the experience? Like, do you have any your own kind of structured, easier to understand the concepts to practice from our end? How to one two times, like you how you do a lab session like CCNA or CCNP or security things or any Azure things like that. We have any kind of material that will be helpful for all of us.
I'll just see if I find any document. I'll share it with you.
Yeah, because when I went to the internet, there are so many are available. Like if you see the station or IT shop, there is hundreds of pages. That,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so that's not a good way to go to. That's the reason. But a provider not really helpful because we need a hands on this. Now what you are doing, what we are seeing, we can mirror it out. But when we are putting our hands, if we are missing that, we cannot always watch this video session back front and making it inch perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll just try to see that if I find.
Please, if you are in your any other in previous or if anyone else have any kind of then that will be really helpful. Not only for me, if you're going for any classes or any students, it will be helpful
Yeah,
to
yeah.
repeat, recall yourself. Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
So I've created two system roles, system role one and two. Okay, so let's do one thing. I was looking inside the bonus. Okay. So I think by system entitlements, it has understood Linux correctly. So we'll have to select something else. So tool privacy. Let's do one thing. I think we have already created it, so it is not getting updated. Let me create a new attestation policy. And in this, what we'll do, attestation or membership, and here we'll select role memberships, system role, membership attestation, approval policy, attestation. Owner can be this person, time required to keep them, calculation schedule, period. Save. So now what we are going to do, if I click on edit condition, it will look for this particular tile, that is person as ESET. So now what we'll do is we'll come over here to employees first, employees, and add a few employees over here.
You're adding the employees now.
Yeah, I'm just adding the employees. I'm just adding few employees over here. Okay. So I've added 2 employees over here. So now what I'm going to do, we have added 2 new entitlements. I'll come over here, system role 1, and I'll assign a person to this. So we have this assigned to employees. So I'll assign this to Karan Gupta and save. Okay. I'll come back to system role 2 and assign this also to few employees.
What will happen then now?
Sorry.
What will happen then now once we assign?
So what will happen that now these are the users. See, as we have created the entitlements, what is entitlement? Entitlement is something that will provide you access to a particular thing or a group of things. Okay. So now we have added these people directly to entitlements. So that means that these people now own these 2 entitlements. So if I click on system role 1, you can see that this is the person who has been assigned to this system role. Similarly, system role 2 has been assigned with this guy. Okay. So now what does this mean? That these people are assigned to this particular system role. So there will be an entry created in a table called ESET has, person as ESET. So there is a table called person as ESET. The reason, like the use of that table is that whenever a person is assigned to a particular service item or system role, so then there is an entry created over there. So mostly the attestations that will be covered, attestation are covered on the memberships. Either it is group memberships, either it is entitled memberships. So these kind of memberships are covered in the attestation. Okay. So the attestation that we have created, attestation policy, attestation of memberships, this we have created on the system role memberships. System role memberships means that any system role that are assigned to users will be covered over here. Okay. So suppose if I want to edit the condition, I can edit the condition or I can just leave it as it is. So it is a SQL condition, you can edit it. But if we leave it as it is and click on show condition, so this is the condition, show selected objects. So these are the 3 objects that have been selected. Why these 3 items have been selected? Because these are the system role memberships. Like this person has this particular role and these 2 people have this system role too. Okay. So now these are the 3 items which will be covered under our system role. Okay. Now because it is applied on the person as ESET table, you can create a
where we can see the ESET tables, we can see that.
Sorry, could you repeat? Your voice
Can we
is.
see the tables?
Yeah. So if I go to this table, reset, so you can see these are the two tables that I have, these are the two roles, system roles that I have recently created. So system roles are saved in the table called ESET. Now, one thing to understand over here, please be like mindful of what I am saying. So there are two things. First is like on the second day, we were discussing on the creation of the ESET. Then we created the IT shop service item, which then we requested from the front end, and we saw that how it works. Okay.
Correct.
There are two tables. One is ESET. ESET will consist of the entitlements, what all entitlements are created. Then we have a table called ESET, person has ESET. Person has ESET is responsible for like which person has which entitlement. Okay. Now, because these are the directly assigned tables, so these are directly entered into the person as ESET tables. Now, the scenario which we did on the second day, where we requested it from the front end, so there is a table called person wants org. Whenever a person is requesting any particular thing, object from the front end portal, there will be an entry created on the front end. Okay, so that entry is created in the person wants org table. Person wants org table will have multiple status. Like order state would be request. Once the person has requested it, the order state will be request. Now all the approvals have completed, then the order state would be assigned. Okay. The third thing would be if the approver has declined it, the order state would be denied. Okay. And then we have the fourth state. Fourth order state is that cancelled. Cancelled means that if the time has reached out, the person, the approver has not taken any action, so the person wants org record will go cancelled and the person will not be granted any particular thing.
So you will get the auto email alert also. This is going
Yes,
to be
yes, yes.
cancelled or something
So
like it.
alert would be given in all the steps. Like when the person requests something, then also the approver will get an email that this is something you have to approve, and the person who has requested will also get an email that you have successfully requested this product. Now,
So if he
once
is not told or if he is on leave or the long-term vacation, will it not bypass to any other person?
that also depends on two things. So there are two type of things that you can discuss on this. First is that if the person who is the approver who, if it is he is going on a leave for 15 days or 20 days, if he has delegated his access to someone, then the person who has been delegated can approve it. If he has not delegated it and there is a particular thing of matter in the organization that there are multiple cases where the approvers go on leave and they don't delegate their access to someone, so in that case what they do, they create a backup team. Like I have seen in multiple organizations, they create someone called backup team or the ascending team. What they will do, that if the approver is not available and he has not delegated the access to anyone also, that backup team will act as a approver at that time. So suppose in that backup team I have added 3 to 4 people. Those 3 4 people, anyone can approve that request.
Okay. This is so simple. Yeah.
Okay. So these are the two ways to handle it. So on the day one, when on the day two, when I was working, we were working on the approval workflows. I showed you that in the approval workflows, when you are creating an approval step, there you have an option that number of approvers. So if you are selecting number of approvers as one, then only there will be one approver. If you are selecting 4 approvers and you have put a condition that it should be approved by a group of people, then it will be 4 people who can approve it. Similarly, in the approval step itself, there is an option called delegate approval. So delegate approval means that if the approver is not available, he can delegate that particular approval workflow to someone else also. Okay, so when we were talking about this person wants org table, Okay, so person wants org table will have the entries of the persons who have requested for a particular thing from the front end. As I mentioned, every step will send a mail that if the person has requested, he'll receive a mail that this has been requested by you. If it has been approved, he will receive that this particular thing has been approved. If it is declined, he will be told that your particular request has been denied with the reason that why it was denied. And if it has been cancelled, then he will receive a mail that due to no action taken by the approver, your this request has got cancelled. Okay, so these are the things that will happen. This thing also you can apply. So if I go to see, if I go to attestation of memberships again, and if I click on my attestation policy, so the approval policy applied on this is approval by system role manager. Okay, so if I click on this approval policy, attestation by role manager, yeah, this one. I open it on a new tab. So you can see these are this is the place where you assign the mail templates. Mail template approved, you can select any mail over here. Mail template denied, you can select any mail over here. Mail template aborted, you can select any mail over here. So what will happen that this will be assigned, like if this particular thing is approved, then this mail approval template will be triggered. If it is denied, then this particular mail template will be triggered. If it is aborted, then this particular mail template will be triggered. Okay, so this is the place where you define the mail templates.
Okay.
Now coming back to this one, if as you can see that now our condition, whatever the condition is mentioned, when we are running this show selected objects, it is showing 3 objects. That means on the day when the attestation case will run for this, then what will happen that it will create attestation case for all these 3 records. Okay, so as I told you that it can be done via scheduled way, or you can run it right now also ad hoc. So if I click on run attestation case, I select, suppose I selected this Karanji over here, and click on the run button. Let's open the job queue. Okay, so right now there is, I think, some issue with the job queue. And the issue is this is a very common issue in one identity. Um the issue is that our DBQ is not picking up the jobs. Why is there no job server showing? We created the job server. 1 second, I think something is missing over here. Just- Okay. So till the time it is doing this, I'll just come back over here. Okay. So what will happen? See, our database is not picking up the jobs at the moment. The service is not correctly configured, so I'm just working on that. So I'll work on that. That is fine. So what I want to show you is as soon as I select this particular thing, okay, like I run the attestation case on this particular record. So there will be a table called attestation case where this particular record will be created. So you can see that if I go to attestation case table, filter on it, select this. This is the attestation case that has been created on this person. Okay. Decision level is still not there. So you can see is closed, false. That means it is yet not closed. Is cross functional, false. Is granted, false. False means that it is yet not, there is no action taken on it. If the action is taken, this is closed value will become true. That means this attestation case is closed. Okay. And if it is granted, then this will become true. If it is not granted, then it will become false. So these two parameters are very important. First is if it is not closed and it is false, that means there is no action taken on it. It is still in the pending status. If it is closed and this is false, that means the attestation case was denied. Okay. If it is closed and it is true, that means the attestation case has been successfully approved. Okay, so these are the three cases. False false means pending. False true means that it has been approved. And true false means that it has been closed but it has not been granted. Okay, so these are the cases. If you want to see this case in the manager, you can do that as well. So if I go back to manager tool, click on the attestation runs. There you have multiple options that how do you want to see the attestation run. So I can select over here attestation of system role. So attestation of memberships, attestation runs 2026, March 28, pending attestations. So this is the pending attestation that we have recently created. If I double click on it, you can see this is the attestation case that has been created. Now if I click on this approval sequence, I'll be able to see that who is the approver. Currently it is pending with whom. So this is the approval sequence. Currently it is pending with the role owner of the manager of system role to be attested. Okay, I think that because of the fact that our one identity manager is not picking up the things, so it has not been picked up correctly. Okay, it is still not showing. I'll have to see that what is the issue with this. So once this is resolved, so the idea of this which was to show you that how we create the attestation case, how we schedule it. So we have already scheduled it for 6 months. So it will run after 6 months of obviously. Otherwise, you can just run on the ad hoc basis. Like you can select any particular attestation run and you can just execute it. And this is how the attestation policy, whatever is applied on it, will be applied. Any questions on this?
Yeah. Anyone? Bharat? You okay? Anything you're confused? Something?
Your voice is very low. Can you just?
Bharat, any questions? Anything from your end?
Nothing of note. So these approval policy, attestation policy have few ideas. I regularly work on this. So currently no questions.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So we have few minutes still left. Okay, so we can discuss on the tables and the hierarchy of tables. So I think we have covered most of the things in the manager tool. There are few things that are still to be discovered, like the unified namespace. This we will discover when we will be starting working on the sync editor. So most probably tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Monday we'll start working on the sync editor tool. Okay, where we will be creating the new projects, Active Directory and CSV connector. And then we will be seeing that how we deal with the custom target systems. Okay, so that is something that will be out of the box connectors that we'll be working on. Then we'll be discussing on custom target systems, how we configure them. Okay, so now let's discuss on the tables. Okay, so as I told you, few tables are very important in one identity manager. Okay, so I'll just list them one by one. So the very first table is IT shop.
Where do we go to open for these tables?
Sorry, where do we?
Which one we need to navigate to open this table?
You can directly open the object browser, or you
Okay.
from here what you can do is you can come to auto modify, configure, auto modify, change system settings, manage system users, add permission to the auto modifier process. I think object browser is not available over here. So you'll have to click on the windows and over here type object browser. So you should be able to open it.
Okay.
So the very first table is IT shop org. IT shop org, as you can see, that it shows all the structures. Okay, like all the different IT shops that are available in the one identity. So here are all the IT shop structures available. You can add new ones. So this is the very basic structure. IT shop org is the very basic thing that we start from. Okay. Then we have IT shop. IT shop org has ADS group. IT shop org has EDS, ESET, assign, QER assigned, and all these things. So this is something that will start from that that whatever that IT shop has. So those dependencies will come up over here. Okay. Now, as I told you, the second important thing is the person table. So this is one of the most important tables of one identity. Okay, person table is something where we will add the records of the data of the person. So from the HR database, we'll get the details about the persons, and that will be stored in this person table. In the person table itself, we have a lot of value templates that we'll be discussing when we will be working on the designer tool. So this person table will have triggers. Okay, triggers mean that if there is an entry created on this person table, then there might be some triggers that we have created to put the data or push the data into different tables. Like it might create a data on the ATS account table, or it might create data on other tables. So on that day, what we did is that we created a particular account definition, and account definition um, was tied to a dynamic role. So as soon as a person record was created, that dynamic role checked that the primary location and the department of the user, and based on that, it assigned the Active Directory to the user. So the day when we were seeing the things on the demo version of the One Identity Lab, okay, so that is the person table. The next important table is the person wants.
Sorry. What's it digging?
Yeah, so the next important table is the person wants org table. Person wants org table, as I told you, any request that you do from the front end, any particular request for access, for group, for entitlement, for anything, that would create a record in the table called person wants org. Okay, person wants org will contain the data like what particular access role you have requested, what is the IT shop org for that, okay, uh, who has requested it, when it has been requested, what is the valid from date, like from when till when he has requested. Like suppose I requested the access today, and I requested it for 3 months. Okay, so that valid until date will be there. Order date will be there, that on which date I ordered this particular thing. Then, as I mentioned, order state. Order state would be either assigned, pending, denied, or cancelled. Okay, so these are the states that it will be in the. So this is the person wants org table. Then we have ACC product. ACC product table is something where we stored all the requestable products. So whatever you see in the IT shop in the front end, the requestable products, okay, so those are all present in the ACC product table. ACC product table is tied to the ESET table. Now what is ESET table? ESET table is the entitlements. So if I come back over here and click on the entitlements, system role 1. So this is our ESET. This system role is our ESET, and this service item is our ACC product. Okay. If you want to see which particular table this thing belongs to, so you can just open this system role, click on view, and click on show field definition. This will give you that this particular thing belongs to ACC product. This is the name of the attribute, UID org ruler, and this is the table name. Okay, so for anything you want to understand that from where which column name it is taking, so you can just click on this view and click on the show field definition. It will show you all the definitions of from which table it is taken. So these are the two things, ACC product and ESET. Now the next table is person has ESET. So as the name suggests, it will have the name UID of the person who is requesting the ESET and the ESET name, okay, UID of ESET. So whatever is the, I think it doesn't have the UID, it has the X object key of the. So this person has ESET, table has two things. One is UID person, and the next thing is the X object key of the ESET. So these are the two things that it has. Okay. So after this, we have multiple other tables like ADS account, ADS group, ADS forest. Then we have AAD group, AAD user. Okay, that is for the Azure Active Directory. Similarly, we have exchange tables like EXH user, EXH group. So we have then for the Outlook also. So same kind of hierarchy we have for all these things. Now there is one more thing to notice over here is that when we are working on this version 8, okay, so you will be able to see this ADS account table, you will be able to see ACC product, but you won't be able to see the AAD user, AAD product and things. Even you won't be able to see the exchange also. So the exchange table attributes are also not available over here. The reason behind this is that from the version 9 and above, they have introduced some more out-of-the-box connectors in one identity, that is Azure, Exchange, Outlook, okay, SAP, and all those. So for that, they provide you this hierarchy, like the similar we have for the ADS account. Okay. ADS account, ADS account, ADS container, ADS account in ADS group. Similarly, we have AAD user, AAD account in AAD user in AAD group, Exchange user, Exchange group. All those tables we have, SAP user, SAP account, SAP user in SAP account. So all these tables we have in the higher versions, but in the lower versions, because we don't have the out-of-the-box connector available for these things, so these tables doesn't exist. So that means as you move to the higher versions, you will be able to see more tables over here. Okay, the next important table is org. Org is the table that we just used. Org is known as the business role table. Okay, so all the details related to business role table will be stored over here. Okay, similarly, when you see that there is a table called person wants org, there is another table called person in org. So person in org, as the name suggests, the person who are in the business roles. So suppose there are multiple people in a single business roles. So all those information will be stored in this person in org table. Okay. So this is the name of the table, person in org. Any questions on this? Okay. The next important table is AE role table. So AE role table we discussed on the second day also. Okay. AE role is also known as application role. So application role is also very useful. So we just saw the application of that thing also, that we use the application role, we then assign it to business role, and then we see what all things we can do. Now AE role can be used in one more thing. Like suppose if I go to manager tool again, let me just click on system role 1. Click on service item and select a product owner over here. So it will create an automatic application role. You can see it is creating an automatic role similar to the role name that I've given over here. Click OK. Click save. Click on service item. Service item over here. You can see we have created this system role. Okay. Now you can assign multiple employees to it. Okay. Suppose I am selected these two employees. Click save. So now you can see that it has been assigned with this user currently. So that means that now this particular, sorry, if I go to service item, this product owner becomes Astha and Suraj. So these two people have now become the product owner for this service item. Okay. So in this way, you can create this AE role and then assign multiple product owners to the service item. Now for this also we have a table. So now we have created the AE role. Now there will be another table called person in AE role. So person in AE role will give you the highlights of which person is allocated to which application role. So if I go to person in AE role table, so it will show all the application roles that are already available, like out of the box ones, plus the ones that we just assigned. So you can see this one, system role 1, and this Astha Thakur. Okay, so these are the ones that are recently created over here. Any questions on this?
No questions, just we need to do hands on this. It's a very big topic then.
Praveen,
Which
just sorry, Abhinav, just have a question. See, generally, if the tables are available in manager, right, we can just go to view some property and see the column name and table name. But is there a way to find the table details and how it is connected between other tables when it is not in the manager tool? For example, right, dialog operations or dialog default table. There are many tables which we can't see in manager tool.
See, the thing is that to understand those tables, that will come only via practice. Okay, so if I talk about these dialog tables, there are multiple dialog tables available, and each dialog table has a different thing to do. Like everything in one identity is stored in the form of tables. So whatever you see, whatever you think, everything is stored in the form of tables. So now there is a table called dialog table, which will have all the tables, different tables. Then we have dialog column, then we have dialog operations, we have dialog, even the job queue that you see over here. So job queue also, there is a table called dialog queue. dialog db queue, which will show you the queue name. Dialog database will show you the databases available. Okay, so that is something history DB. So dialog history DB is something that if you have configured the history database, so then it will show you the history database details over here. So these are the things that will come with practice once you are in one identity, once you are working with one identity, then only you will come to know. There is no documentation or anything that one identity is provided for.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
our challenge is whenever we try to extract cookie report, generate some data, right? It's very difficult to join few tables. You will not understand how the table, I mean, which key is commonly used between multiple tables. So I thought there would be an option.
So the only way to check that is that if I open any of these tables, so suppose I open dialog AEDS only. Okay. So these foreign key references can provide you an idea that how you can connect them. So if there is a foreign key over here, dialog UI AEDS product or dialog product, you can see, just expand it and you can see that it is taking the value UID of dialog product. So that means you can join these two tables, dialog AEDS and dialog product, with this particular foreign key.
Okay.
So this is the only way, otherwise there is no other option. See, this is this is something very easy still, whatever you are asking. But when you will work on designer, right? When we'll start to work on designer, there are multiple operations that are there in the process. When you will create a process step can work as multiple things. It can actually work as a file transfer protocol. It can work as script execute. It can work as insert, update, delete. So that is also a very huge part, but it is not provided by one identity. That what can you do from which part? So that will also come from the experience. Once you spend some time with working on one identity, then only you will come to know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any other things anyone wants to ask?
Nothing actually.
No.
Okay. Cool. So these are the main tables that we are and we will be using in somewhere around when we will be working on the one identity things. Okay. Apart from these, obviously there are multiple tables that we have in one identity. So that thing, when even when we will be working on the other scenarios, we might be looking into them. But these are the most important tables that we have in one identity.
So this is the 10. These are all the tables, right?
Yeah. These are not all the tables. As I said, there are hundreds of tables that are available in one identity. These are one of the most important tables that which are used to create, like when you will be creating processes, when you will be working on scripts. These are the most commonly used tables.
Okay.
So if you want to go through the tables, you can see them from here. Like all these are the tables available on the left side. Okay, so you can either see it from this object browser, or else you can simply go to this SQL editor that I have already installed. Expand this databases tab. We have this 1IM database over here. So you can just click on new query, and you can just use the SQL queries to see the data. But obviously right now we don't have any data available. So firstly, you will have to create the data in it.
Okay.
Abhinav, this lab session access which you have provided, right? It will be available only these classes exist, or how it is?
See, what I have done is that I have like made them in such a way that 2 hours per day will be allocated to you guys. Okay, for these 10 days, what we have been doing. and then 10 hours extra will be charged. So 20 hours during this lab and 10 hours extra um, during after the sessions are over. You can add like 3-4 hours extra also, so that is not an issue. But mostly 30 to 35 hours per person is what we have done.
Okay.
Right.
And
So yeah, go ahead.
is there a way we can create a lab on our desktop for our practice purpose? I mean, definitely just 20 or
See, you can do that if you are able to. See, there is one thing over here in the downloads, this zip file. Okay, so what you can do, this particular AWS instance that you are using has the ability to work on the Explorer. Like you can use the internet also over there. Okay, so you can just paste this in your one drive, okay, in your
Okay.
Google Drive or somewhere, and then you can use it on your own desktop. So
Yeah,
obviously
so
you'll have to install it.
it doesn't require
Can-
additional license, something, anything.
No licenses are required, but you will have to install it because this is a zip file. So you'll have to install it, install all the modules like job server, database servers.
Can you
web
share
server.
this with us?
It's already there. If you'll open your downloads folder, it's already there.
Where in downloads?
Just open the downloads, it will be there.
What will be there? Okay, once this session is completed, RDP we can shut down, or then we can just cancel directly.
Sorry, could you repeat?
So once this RDP is done, we can shut down, or we can directly just
Yeah.
disconnect.
Please, what you need to do is as soon as we complete this, right? What you guys need to do, I'll just show it to you. I explained yesterday also. So what you have to do is you come back over here to connect instances. Suppose this is my instance. I'll go over here and click on stop instance. So this is a very important activity. If you disconnect it, it will not stop the instance. The instance will keep on running. So it is very important that once you finish your work inside the lab, please click on this stop instance.
Disconnect,
Because
right?
I'll be getting the daily, I think every 2 to 3 days, the AWS person will be sending me the reports that this lab has been used for this particular time. Okay, so if you are not working on it, please close the instance.
1 second. Let me just try. RDP client.
So as you can see, it is still on for Praveen and Bharat, you, right?
Yeah,
So
but
once you will
I
be
noticed this to disconnect. We have to go to the instance, right?
yeah, click on that instance and then instead state and click on stop instance. Okay, for Bharat also it has a stop.
Where is the stop instance and everything? Action. Show me where is the stop instance?
Click on this instance
Okay.
state and here you will be able to see stop instance.
Oh,
Let me stop it for you if you are not able
Yeah,
to.
I did.
Okay.
You can just refresh and see if it's done, right? Okay.
Yeah, it is showing stopping. Yeah.
Understand. Okay. But let's we will try because this is a very used topic like metro level. So we need a hands on this. I mean that's what. Once you get a chance, could you just share any kind of really helpful for us to read or understand some kind of for practice purpose. Yeah. So because I have so many documents for this one identity, but it is all like 200, 300 pages and all. So that's not really worth to explore that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll try to see that if I get a new document, I'll share it with you.
Please, you just help me in this because there are multiple navigations. Until unless you get one kind of idea, then at least If we miss now, then we cannot always go and read these video sessions and we stop and pause. Practically, it's quite challenging.
Yeah, I completely understand that. But what I'll suggest both of you is that please, like, I'll suggest that once I'm like when I'm giving the training, you don't start your instance, because see, today you didn't do anything, right? You started
Mm.
your instance, but you didn't do anything, and 2 hours of your lab was started.
Mm.
Okay. So instead, what you do that once I complete this, and like there would be times that when I am creating a sync project, I'll ask you to create a sync project. So that time you start your instance, create the sync project, and again close it. Then whenever you get the time in any time of the day, you start the instance again, okay, and work on it. Okay.
Okay.
Don't open it just for the purpose of opening it. Open it when you are working on anything.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And if you will practice on this, it will be very helpful for me also and for you also, because if you have any questions from the previous sessions, then you can raise and I can resolve them for you. If you are not working on this, then it would be difficult for me also and for you also, because obviously the lab is of the sessions are of only 20 hours. So that is why it is very important for you also to work on these labs, to give it your
But
hands on.
that's also when we can get connect to the RDP and we can try here and there. But if we want, usually that's what on the initial time. So if you want to create an instance and IT shop and approval mechanism, if you miss any steps now, then obviously we need to go back and see that video, right? Until unless we not, that's the reason. If you have any kind of thing, no, it is easy for us. If you miss any steps now, then we can follow. Then we can do our end. Then if you are missing anything really, then we'll come back to you. Practically, I really need this kind of help from you.
That would be a little bit difficult because I don't think there is any document related to that. I'll have to see that how it works, because see, generally whenever we are giving the training, so training is recorded for this purpose only, that the people are doing the hands-on parallelly or after the lab, and they get the knowledge of what has been done today. And the next day, if they have any issues, they can raise the issues, that these are the issues that they have faced, so that they can be addressed. So this is how the architecture looks like. Okay, but definitely I'll try to find out a document and if I find it, I'll share it with Sunaina, and you will get it from her.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Yep. Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.